video on Treacle Tart again, but it's not going to be Treacle Tart, it's going to be peach tart, but in two different ways. So when I do functions, you end up with, if I just need the peaches, they always come in a little bit of syrup, and if I don't need the syrup, I don't want to throw it away, I always keep the syrup, reduce it down, and then kind of add it to different things. So like a treacle sponge or something like that, I use that as a replacement because I don't want to waste it, and there's flavour in it as well, so why would you want to kind of throw it away? So I always end up with a bit of this reduced peach syrup just like knocking about. So after making the treacle tart, I kind of thought, well, the other things that we could use instead of treacle, and I kind of thought, well, we could use the syrup from the peaches. That'd be kind of quite interesting, wouldn't it? Just needs sweetening up slightly. So we've got, I don't know how many tins of peaches this is. This is probably not going to be the interesting part for most people. It's probably reduced down to a third of the original size. So I don't know. But anyway, so there's 400 grams worth of the reduced peach syrup in there, and I'm just going to put in 100 grams of cheese, 100 grams worth of sugar, just to sweeten it up slightly. It will be sweet, but it just needs a little bit more. And then I've got 150 grams worth of breadcrumbs. Now it's breadcrumbs from a tiger loaf, which I think it's called tiger loaf because of how it looks on top of it, which is just a half decent quality bread that you just buy from the supermarket. So not like cheap bread, but like something that you buy and you bring home and you slice yourself, and it's a look quite dense. The only problem that I found with treacle tarts and things like that is how much bread you have to use in the recipe depends on the density of the bread. So that's like a medium density loaf. You can buy the really cheap bread, which is a lot softer than that, and then you would need more breadcrumbs for that. But then if I make my own bread at home, so this is a loaf that I was faffing around with yesterday, this is really dense, so you probably need less breadcrumbs from that. So can't really do like a proper recipe for it. You have to think your way kind of through it. So that's going to be the first way. So we're going to use that reduced peach juice, and then the second way, I kind of thought, well, can't we actually just put a tin of peaches, puree them, so we get like a peach coulis, add some sugar to that, heat it up, and use it in the same way as a syrup. Because I just kind of thought, well, that's kind of quite interesting, because I made a treacle tart with marmalade and it turned out very well. So these are my thoughts. So this is the first one. I'll need to turn the oven on. So oven on at 180, something like that, 180 fan. So how does that taste? I won't use my finger. We'll put a spoon in today. That's nice. Oh, that's nice. So, then I've just bought a 7-inch, 180 centimetre tart ring, sweet pastry. Pre-bought one. I couldn't be bothered making pastry and baking it blind and all that kind of stuff. I just couldn't be bothered. Now, normally, treacle tart needs a little bit of acidity and lemon into it. I haven't got any lemons. So, but maybe something like instead of lemons, a lime would be better with peach, because I can just kind of think they've got that different type of, like mango and lime go together. So peaches aren't that dissimilar from a flavour of mango. Mango and peach are kind of quite similar, so lime would probably work better. But there's a little bit of acidity in that syrup anyway, so I think we'll get away with it. That looks like a good enough consistency. Is it going to need a little bit more? Let's put a little bit more bread in. I'll have to weigh it out. I have tried the bread, but I'm just not 100% ready as always. Mostly on the fly. So let's see what 50 grams, another 50 grams looks like. And then we might just build in more. So that's what 50 grams looks like, so maybe just a little bit more. So I reckon between depending on which bread you're using, oh, that'd be a bit better. So depending on what type of bread you're using, between 150 and 200 grams worth of breadcrumbs. And obviously the quality of the bread that you use and the taste of it will affect the taste of the treacle tart. Well, it's a peach tart, isn't it? So this in there like that, and we'll see. Is anything else to go in it? No, there's nothing else to go in it. So it's just a way of using something up and thinking outside the box of what we're actually going to do. We need to turn that off, otherwise it'll burn. So that'll be okay. I think that'll work out alright. Looks like a right amount of filling. It probably will balloon up and then shrink back down. That's hot on my fingers. So that can go in the oven. So it says 20 minutes in the cookery book, but maybe more like half an hour. So how are we going to do this? We'll use the same pan and we'll puree it up afterwards. So there's a 400, so I'm just using the cheap supermarket. I'm just using these. So there's 400, it says 410 grams. I think there's a little bit more in than that. I think there's a little bit more in. So let's just quick calculate how much is going in. I don't know. That was like 420 grams. Was that the trained weight? I don't know. So let's heat these up because we need to heat them up. And then we'll top it up to 500 with some sugar. So we need, it says 410, but there's 420 in it. So we need like 500 grams worth of volume, so we need some sugar in there as well. So I have to weigh things off camera because I haven't got enough room and the board isn't flat. So we need another 80 grams, which will be the extra sweetness that we need, and take it up to the right kind of amount of volume. And then we'll get some more breadcrumbs together. So heat that up, and then we'll puree it, and we'll be back. Right, we're going? Yes, we're going. So those heated up, in with sugar to make it up to 500 grams, and then that just out of the way. I'm just going to end up having to wash up anyway, and then my blend is caught up with everything else. All the wires everywhere because I've never got any charge in my phone. Probably need a new battery. Pure these together. That's about the right kind of consistency that they're looking for anyway in a syrup, so that can just get washed. Turn the heat up a little bit. I've still got my spoon, yes, I've still got my spoon. That's sweet. Enough, nice enough. So 150 grams worth of breadcrumbs into here, and we'll see what happens. Sure, there was 150 grams. I'm not going to put any more sweet. I'm not going to put any more sugar in. I don't like things that are too sweet. I find it a bit cloying. You know, it's like a bit. It's things that want to stick to your roof of your mouth, and things that are just. I like different I like different textures, and I like different kind of levels of sweetness. I like sweetness mixed in with bitterness and sharpness, and those. I much prefer that kind of taste sensation rather than just sweet. Some people just like sweet. I like things like a rhubarb crumble, when the rhubarb's kind of quite tart, and then you've got a nice buttery sweet crumble on top of it, and then you've got the creaminess of the custard on top. I think that'll be okay. I don't think we need any more bread in that. And then I did have another idea. I thought, well, if this works, then I've got another idea that I want to try as well, but that'd be another video, because I want to do, it's not going to be like a treacle tart video. I think I'm done with treacle tarts now. I suppose I could do a honey one, but I've already said you could do that in another video, and I don't really want to do lots of videos on the same thing. I kind of want to not exhaust a subject, but get to an understanding of what I'm kind of quite doing. And then I was going to, well, this wouldn't be that dissimilar to like a pumpkin pie, would it? But I don't think you put breadcrumbs in a pumpkin pie. I think it's set with eggs. But anyway, so that in the oven as well. How does it taste? I can't lick my fingers now. Could have done with a bit of acidity in it, but we're only playing around, and we're back in 20 minutes to see how, well, 20 minutes, half an hour, to see how they turn out. Ready? Well, one of them smells ready. Or maybe both. We'll see. Alright, okay, so that's the syrup one. That's certainly ready, and it's puffed up. This is the puree one, and it's puffed up and it just needs a little bit longer. So I won't show you when it's ready, because that's a little bit pointless, isn't it? So that's definitely ready. That needs another 5 minutes. So we'll see what they're like when they're cooked. Out of the smell. It smells good, but we'll see how it turns out when it's cool. So let's cut into them. Can't imagine they're going to be horrible. I'll try and work out a recipe for the peach syrup, but I just don't think anyone's going to have enough of the tinned peach juice, you know, to kind of make a whole tart. It's more of an experiment into what we can do. Oh, that's turned out nice, hasn't it? Look at that. That's turned out lovely. And it certainly doesn't need any lemon in it. It's got a nice bit of acidity to it. That's really nice, is that? That is delicious. I want to eat all. I won't have another bite if I'm going to carry on talking. Now this is slightly shrunk, so that's something to think about. It looks like it's got a nice texture. So if it works with tinned peaches, it's going to work with lots of other things. Oh, look at that. So that's not that dissimilar from a pumpkin pie kind of look, has it? So, how's it taste? That's nice. That's almost a little bit custardy. That's nice. It certainly doesn't need, well, for me it doesn't need any more sugar, but that doesn't kind of mean anything really, because sweetness is a personal preference, isn't it? Some people like things very sweet, but like some people like 2 sugars in the tea or coffee, and I'm like, that just would be far too much sugar for me. But anyway, they're both delicious. You can certainly easily make that one. You can buy really good quality mango pulp. I think that'd be really nice with mango pulp. Or kind of like, you know, some like cooked apricots would be nice. Be nice with apricot jam. So it's like the marmalade one that I made, you could make it with apricot jam. And that's good, is that? That works. And so that made me kind of think about what I should do with, if I had another idea about wanting to do something with tinned peaches and make a dessert out of them. But they're both lovely. So, they work. They're a success. Who'd have guessed? Well, could have guessed, couldn't really. But anyway, so, delicious.